As a quick precursor to this episode, I would love to invite you to attend the autumn edition of my in-person event, Dare Greatly in the Coaching Arena, which will be held on Friday the 8th of November in Barnes, southwest London. It's a 5-minute walk from Barnes Station, and there's also a free car parking place on site. So it's the best of both worlds. We will be preparing and planning for your best ever 2025, and you will leave with that vision and strategy for your next 12 months with a newfound sense of connection and focus. We will be harvesting your present and planting the seeds for a profitable and joyful 2025, allowing your business goals to bloom with ease. I'm very excited to be bringing the warmth of the season and all of those beautiful colours and everything we can learn from shedding what no longer serves us and preparing for spring. Embrace the seasons of change and join me on 8th of November to Dare Greatly in the Coaching Arena. Do not worry if you don't know anyone. I will ensure that you feel welcome from the moment you arrive until the moment you leave. I cannot wait to see you there, and grab the link now in the show notes. Hello and welcome to Women in the Coaching Arena podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Lott, a business mentor and ICF accredited coach, and I help coaches to build brilliant businesses. I know that when you prepare to enter the arena, there is fear, self-doubt, comparison, anxiety, uncertainty. You can tend to armor up and protect yourself from vulnerability. In this podcast, I'll be sharing honest, not hype, practical and emotional tools to support you to make the difference that you're here for. Dare greatly, you belong in this arena. Hello, welcome to the 79th episode of Women in the Coaching Arena. I am so glad you're here. Today I'm covering how to stand out from your competitors. Since COVID, many people have gone into the coaching industry wanting more meaning, wanting a better work-life balance. So I'm excited today to share how to stand out from your competitors and what I've noticed about those who do succeed in this industry. So this is not an optional topic for any coach in 2024. This is base level now. You need to really prioritize building a unique, memorable brand to transform your coaching business into a profitable business. You may be thinking, I don't think I'm up for rising above the competition. Everyone's doing amazing. But I promise you, you can do this, and you don't have to do it by being the loudest one in the room. You are here listening today because you are up for the challenge. I am here to help you solve this problem. By the end of this episode, you will have a clear roadmap of how to differentiate yourself and stand out in this busy marketplace. So the first one, which I talk about often, is stand out by being you. As much as you can share your journey, your stories, no one else can share those exact same stories as you. This really is your biggest differentiator. It's easily misunderstood. People think that no one's interested in what they're up to, but it's just not true. I'm so intrigued about people's backstories, about their life today, and I always encourage clients to bring that into everything that they do. Usually when they've quit their job to do this business, they want to forget all about their previous experience. The ones I've seen succeed are those who really bring in everything that they've done to date. One of my clients was a very young director. She was suddenly having to manage a large team and found it really stressful. So now that's exactly what she helps her clients with. Handle a large team when you're a young, new manager. There will always be clues of the journey you've been on to date that you can take into your business, and do share those personal stories. That's what people want. Let's cover some quick ways that you can stand out from the competition. Firstly, help your ideal client solve real problems. Yes, they will want to know who you are. They also want to know what you can do for them. What's in it for them is a great thing to always have in mind. How can you add value? If you are sharing a story, how can you make them the star of that story or resonate with your journey? You can also educate your audience by really understanding their pain points and exactly how your unique solution can solve that problem. I think the problem with training to become a coach and translating it into a business is that we can end up prioritizing things that are at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs: self actualization, reflection, vision, listening, all of these amazing things that, yes, we all ultimately want. But most of us are down the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, just trying to get money to pay the bills and time to do the most basic essential tasks in our day. So, yes, whilst we want to bring in some of that amazingness into our offer, often we also need to think about real world problems that your ideal client is struggling with from day to day. The more micro your solution, the better. So, instead of leadership, you might want to be speak up as an introvert in a meeting. Really think about how you can solve a very specific problem, and then people will understand what you do enough to think, yes, that's my problem right now, and I want to pay to solve that problem. Next up is build a memorable personal brand. I believe you do this through authenticity because that fosters loyalty. People will want to know you, trust you, and they need to know, like, and trust you to be able to buy from you. So, really dive in, which is easy for you as a coach, what you stand for, what are you passionate about, what is your mission. Really think about these things to bring them into everything you do in your business. Next up is to provide excellent service. Think about how you can gain case studies. As you may see on my website, I have a lot of case studies and I work really hard to provide the best customer service to get those case studies. Yes, it's not always perfect, but I will always be thinking, what can I do differently in order to go above and beyond? For example, I've had my busiest 2 months ever, which is crazy considering I haven't worked for the last 6 weeks. But what I've done to ensure that I still get to really know my clients and provide excellent service is to provide a really small group accelerator for the first 4 weeks. So, no more than 5 people in a small group with me to really maximize that initial part of the journey together, to really help them to get to know people within the group, to get my support on that initial phase, which you really need to build into the longer term journey. So, how can you think about customer service? Another thing I did early on was unlimited coaching. So it was something, what did I call it? I called it laser coaching, and it was unlimited 15-minute coaching sessions, which I never managed to stick to 15 minutes. I think I always overran to 30. But anyway, it was unlimited 15-minute sessions. It was 997 for 3 months, and the person could only book a session if they had done the actions from the last session. So this person got amazing results because they want to get their money's worth. So they're like, I can only talk to her if I do whatever I was meant to do. And then they could book another session. So really think about how you can be innovative and offer things like voice note coaching or laser coaching. Think about how people can fit it in their day so it doesn't feel like a challenge and they can get the answers right away. I remember when I did my first business training course with a guy called Alan Wick. He used to work at the Savoy Hotel, and he told me that they often used to deliberately leave something small out of a room, maybe a bottle of water or a hairdryer or something. And why they did it was so they could over deliver. So then they would come up with the hairdryer and they would say, I'm so sorry this has been missed from your room. In order to make it up for you, I am going to gift you a free meal in our restaurant tonight, or I'm going to book a car for you wherever you want to go for the evening. So it enabled them to really go above and beyond in what they did. So really think about delighting your ideal client. Next up, which I also covered last week, is to really showcase your customer case studies and testimonials. Their words will carry far more weight than yours in terms of your marketing. So don't obsess about your marketing, obsess about client results and client testimonials. Make sure you are leveraging everything like this as much as possible to let them do the talking for you. But if you want to go deeper on that, listen to last week's episode, which is on proof over promise. Next up is building a tight-knit community. I've managed to make this the heart of my brand. I know it may feel different if you are doing one-to-one coaching, but I have genuinely seen people build a movement, even if they are only offering one-to-one coaching. Think about how you can make a live show that people show up at. There's this guy I know, he has, I think it's like the 5 a.m. club type thing. So he basically goes live on his Facebook group at 5 in the morning. And honestly, 70 plus people will actually join him live, and loads more like me would watch the replay because clearly I am not as avid as he is at the 5 a.m. club. But he managed to build a community of people because it was worth showing up for. So really think about how you can make connection the heart of your brand, how you can make people want to support you. Lots of people do things like a private Facebook group to build a community. There's a new app at the moment called School, which lots of people are raving about. There are lots more ways like email marketing that you can bring people into your world and invite them into your community, even if they are not particularly engaging with others in the community. What works really well is something that LinkedIn creators do a lot, which is join 1,032 people in my email community. So you feel like, oh, wow, there's already loads of people interested. This must be good. And you join their email list, but they have positioned it as a community. So you feel like you're part of their world. And I will leave you with show up and be seen. That may be online, it may be on podcasts, some way of being discoverable. That is what you need to build an amazing business and to stay ahead of the curve. What you're aiming for eventually is to become omnipresent. So that is someone saying to you, everywhere I look, there you are, showing up in their email box, in their podcasts, on YouTube, on their Instagram. And yes, that sounds really hard when you're starting, but eventually you will learn how to leverage the assets you are creating and repurpose them into real big discoverability online and offline. So let me summarize today's episode. So first, we talked about how to stand out by being you. Next, we talked about standing out by helping your audience solve real problems. Next was building an amazing personal brand. Finally, providing amazing client service. Next up was showcasing case studies and testimonials. We talked about building a brilliant community. And finally, I left you with be seen. So whether that's on or offline, what we're aiming for is for you to be as visible as possible. And that will help you stay ahead of your competition. I hope today's episode was helpful. If you want to work on that visibility, I'm starting a 30-day offer to market sprint on the 16th of September. It will help you to create an amazing offer and then show up and be seen with the aim of booking sales calls within those 30 days. If it sounds like what you need right now, you will find the link to offer to market in the show notes. And like I say at the end of every episode, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Women in the Coaching Arena. I have a mass of free resources on my website, joannalottcoaching.com. That's Joanna with an A and Lott with 2 T's, joannalottcoaching.com. And I'll also put links in the show notes below. Let me know if you found this episode useful, share it with a friend and leave me a review, and I will personally thank you for that. Remember to trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Get into the arena, dare greatly and try.